my beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. Either you are interested in learning how to create some beautiful flowers, or you just love to see beautiful flowers be created. So you're in the right place. Today I am going to be doing a Christmas centerpiece. Of course, it doesn't have to be Christmas. If you celebrate other holidays and you have colors that correlate with those holidays, of course choose those colors, and same thing, you can do it all the same way, just with different colors, and have it for your holiday occasion. But yeah, it's just something low that you can have on the center table, and then you can eat around it and enjoy, and just bring some cheer to the Christmas time and Christmas in quarantine. So stopped by Trader Joe's and I picked out a couple different shapes and sizes. I went with white, red, and greens, and so I'm just going to start by prepping the flowers as usual, and then we'll go into prepping the container, and then we'll start creating our beautiful arrangements. So stay tuned to see some magic happen. So this bunch was kind of already prepped and put together. I just grabbed it because when I was there they didn't really have that many red flowers, and I also liked that it had some of these pines in there that are a little bit different. So that's why I picked this one up. So I'm just kind of separating it to see exactly what I have in here. I am going to keep the greens off to the side because we will begin with those. And then other than that, I'm just going to keep these all the same, but looks like we have a good selection in here. So just going to remove these bottom leaves because we are going to cut these down very short to go into the arrangement, so we're not going to need those bottom petals. These are hydrangeas, and they were probably the most expensive flower that I chose. It was about $8 for the 3 of them, but it is the holidays, so I wanted to splurge a little bit. And fun fact about these are actually one of the only flowers that drink from their petals. So if you ever get some and they start to wilt really horribly, what you want to do is just take them, get a big bowl of water. You're actually going to submerge it upside down in the water, so the water will be covering it all over. Leave it there for about an hour or so, take it out, recut the end, put that back in water, and then it should actually come back to life really well. Just a little florist trick for you. Once again, just going through, removing these bottom leaves because we're not going to be seeing them in the arrangement, and they're just going to kind of get in my way as I design. So easiest thing to do before you design to make it nice and quick and easy, and that way you can focus all your time and energy on the actual arranging, is prep them beforehand like I am, and that way you don't have to worry about this as you're trying to focus on the creation of the arrangement. So that's why I always start with this. Alright, so these, because I'm ultimately going to use them pretty individually and break them up like here and here and here, I'm not going to really prep these because they're all just going to be cut down anyways, so it's going to be kind of just a waste of time. Little broken head there, so I'm going to remove that. But yeah, doesn't really need to be prepped because they're going to be pretty much cut down from here anyway, so we'll just move on. Alright, so yes, these are very, very tall. These are called gladioli. They come in so many different colors, but I just loved that red, and once again a little Christmassy. So same thing, I'm going to be like cutting them kind of throughout the flower, so I'm not really going to prep the bottom just because the bottom isn't even going to be used, so just really no point in wasting my time there. Well, this is an easy arrangement today. And then of course we have to have the Christmas greens, especially here in Arizona. Oh my goodness. A little dry, definitely needs some love. Definitely need to get these in some water. Alright, so just gonna kind of break these apart, see all what I have to work with. Same thing, I'm just gonna leave these and then cut them apart as I need. And just another little quick hint for greens like this, if you don't want to spend money on it at the store, you actually can during the holidays stop at Home Depot and go up to whoever's selling the real Christmas trees there, and they always cut off the bottom bits and have them in a big pile, and usually they just let you take them for free. So it never hurts to ask. The worst they could ever say is no. So yeah, just a quick little cheap hint for you if you didn't want to spend money on the Christmas greens. And then last, because I love greens so much, and I'm a firm believer that greens make the world of a difference in your arrangement. All of those textures, the different shades of greens, the shapes. And this is some eucalyptus, one of my favorite. Got some little red bits in there, so it's gonna look really beautiful with the arrangement. Okay, so in my most recent video, I kind of gave you some information about floral foam and what floral foam is. But basically, you can order this off Amazon, which is what I did. I've had it soaking in this tub of water for about 2 hours now. And what it does is it soaks up all the water for you, and then you can create with it in flower arrangements, and it's kind of just like a built-in structure, so you don't have to kind of make the vase work. You just stick the flowers in and they don't move, and then they drink from the foam, which is really, really cool. You just have to make sure you are filling the bowl up with water though still, because it will drink all the water from the foam. In the first couple of days, actually, it's pretty amazing how quickly it moves. So just remember that, although there's water in the cube or in the foam, you'll still have to fill it up. So what I've done is I've just put a little piece in the bottom. I cut it down a little bit because ultimately I want this one piece, I want to make it, okay, let me slow down. Okay, so I put one piece in the bottom. The reason that I did one in the bottom is so that this, when I shove it down in there, which the reason I'm shoving it down in and squishing it in the side is, I'll do it with you, so we squeeze, 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 squeeze carefully into the container. Yes, this is a bowl from the dollar store, but figured it's nice and low for a centerpiece. So now we have this part that's above the vase. And the reason that we want that is we can then put flowers in at an angle that go down and cover up the bowl, as where if we put it underneath the rim of the bowl, we'd only be able to have things that come out the sides because it's too far down. So we want to have a little bit of a lip there, and then I am just going to take this and cut down the edges so that when you do go in water it, it goes down in there and not off onto your lovely table. So this is of course optional, but just a good option if you are going to be watering it on a nice area, or if you're giving it to someone and aren't quite sure if they will realize that it will fall over their table and you don't want them to be mad at you. And then I'm gonna fill this up with water and then we can get to some designing. All right, so this wouldn't be a centerpiece without some candles. I did also pick these up at the dollar store. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just going to use the foam and just stick them right in there. You don't want to stick them down too far because when you start to put the flowers in there, they could start to hit the candle that's already in the foam, and then everything starts to move and it becomes a little crazy. So just be aware of how deep you're putting it in when you do that. And then this one, depending on how it goes, I might put down a little bit lower just to stagger them, just to give it, you know, a little bit of uniqueness. So there we go. That's all done. So super simple and easy there. So now, like I said, I'm just going to go in with the greens and I'm going to start to kind of build a long, linear centerpiece, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but I'll show you as we go along. And I am opting out of the floral knife for some shears because, once again, this is very woody material and it will be a little bit difficult to cut every single piece. So, got my first piece. I'm gonna start there, put that in the side, and as you can see now, let me move it over, it's now angled down. Because we have this up top, we can angle it down so that it's actually sitting on the table now. And then I'm just going to want to be careful and pick another piece that's pretty similar in length. And as I am putting these in, I'm removing those little ends because if you put those in the foam, it's going to rip up the foam and then not hold these stems so well. So that's why I'm doing that. And that looks pretty close to the same length. So now I'm just going to continue to build all around and make it very long and stunning. So feel free to join along as we add some pieces of pine to our centerpiece. Oh, so this one already is hitting that candle, so I don't want to keep pushing it. I'm just going to move it down a little bit where I know that candle is not sitting there anymore. And this piece is already kind of facing down, so that's a perfect one to go right up front to use to kind of cover up my vase. Because we don't really need to see the vase, hence why it's a bowl from the dollar store, because my goal is to just cover it, and that way it's just a really nice centerpiece. And as I do with all greens, as I'm placing them, some are going forward, some are back, some are this way, some are that way, just a little bit of everything, because that way you have depth and dimension and it just looks full and beautiful. So just focus on that. Adding it in all different areas, facing different ways. It doesn't all have to be perfect because nature is not perfect. Alright, so I think I'm done with those for now. We're getting pretty full, but I have a couple pieces left if I need to come back. Now this is going to be really good to cover up the vase and a lot of that green foam. So we're just going to start adding this all over, new texture, new color. Still removing those little pieces off the bottom. And we don't want to get too thick with the greens in the middle because when we start to add the flowers, there's not going to be any space left in that foam for it. So just be careful that you're not overdoing it because we do need room for the flowers. Oh, it smells so good. I wish you guys could smell it through the camera. How are we looking? I think it looks super cute already. Alright, so I'm going to leave those greens and move on to my last type of green here. Let's start adding those pieces around. I don't know about you, but I could have an arrangement of just greens on my table. I think it's adorable. And I cannot get over the smell, you guys. I'm telling you, it smells amazing. All right, so once again, a little bit of green left over, but we might need it to add at the end, so we're just gonna stop there. How stunning! Oh my God, I'm so excited. All right, so I think next would be a good idea. I found some really pretty gold ribbon at the dollar store. So I'm going to make a really beautiful bow and put that, kind of nuzzle that somewhere in there as a nice touch. I don't know how much ribbon I will need. I cannot remember. It's been a while since I've made some bows, but we will guess. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have it. If you need a tutorial on bows, let me know. I can do that in the future. So I put it in half, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the middle and twist it a couple of times. And then you're gonna take the one, making sure the sparkles are on the outside. Take it, this one is wired so it makes it much easier. Flip it, and then pinch it with your nails or fingers. Once again, flip it, pinch. Flip this one, pinch. Flip this one, and pinch. And I think I'm going to stop there. I'm going to cut the tails because it is getting a little big for the arrangement. But yeah, maybe I'm actually going to make it a little bit smaller, so we'll do this again. And then I just have this little twist tie that I have in my junk drawer. And I'm just going to wrap that around and then use it to tighten it. And then I'm actually going to use the twist ties to push that into the foam to keep it secure. So if you like the long tails, you can of course keep them and kind of weave them through the arrangement. So of course I'm gonna go in with these big tall ones first because they do have the thickest stem. And I'm just gonna find little places to put them. And because I've worked with these flowers before, I know that they will start to bloom pretty large flowers. So I want to keep them a little bit lower in the arrangement so that when they do bloom, they're not going to be taking up other flowers' way, and that way they can be seen in their full glory. And I am picking the ones that already are kind of opening because I do want them to open before Christmas. And we are only a couple days away. I know, I'm crazy last minute flower arranging. All right. And now, let's see, put the other one kind of tucked right in here. I'm gonna go back to that little bouquet, the kind of random bits that we got in that bouquet, and add those. All right, last but not least, I'm just finishing up, just seeing where the last pieces are gonna go. Gotta come to the front, look at it from a different angle. And then I just want to add a little bit of these and then I'm gonna be done. So I do have a lot of leftover bits, which isn't a big deal. I'm actually excited. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create another, just a little arrangement for the bathroom, or, you know, something that just to add another nice little decoration to somewhere in the apartment. Because why not? We have the extra flowers. Instead of throwing them away, just create another cute little thing to enjoy throughout the house. Thought I would be able to find a bunch of cute ornaments and stuff to add to this, and they were totally out of everything, so I was a little upset at myself. I was able to find the candles and the ribbon. I was left with little mini eraser. So I picked those up. I grabbed some dowel rods and I thought I'll just put those right on there and then insert them into the arrangement as a cute little touch. You know, when in doubt, make it work. Thank you so much for sitting with me and designing and creating just beautiful, amazing flowers. I hope this was a little bit informative, and I hope you can also create something stunning for your holiday season. And just thank you again. If you wanted to hit the subscribe and like, I would always appreciate that. It would be the most lovely Christmas present ever. I hope you stay safe this holiday season, and please let me know if there's anything else you would like to see me create for you. Other than that, see you next time.